Hello and welcome to Fresh Face One Shots. My name is Joey.
And I'm Jacob.
And today we are back with the Uncanny X-Men by Gail Simone. This is the start of another crossover event by the name of X-Manhunt, of which Uncanny is only participating in one issue, but we are going to cover the whole event. So I don't know why, but we are. The Uncanny X-Men, number 11. This is X-Manhunt Part 1. So,
of 7.
Technically 8, because there's another side issue apparently coming out that's part of Exceptional X-Men, I believe. So yeah, we're covering all 8 because we're stupid like that. Part 1. Okay, so obviously 3 of these issues came out this week. We had an issue of Uncanny, we had an issue of NYX, and an issue of Storm. The only one that we are reading consistently and is the Uncanny X-Men. Interestingly, there is something that I would argue, and I'm not going to get ahead of ourselves because we're doing these all as separate videos, but I do want to say there is something I think that Storm does slightly better than Uncanny, and I say that as someone that is only keeping up on Uncanny right now. We'll talk about that more later in a later video. But for now, we have Uncanny, which is an interesting beast. Let's talk aliens and X-Men, I suppose, and which have not really played a part in this run so far, but have definitely been a part of.
Can I just say it feels like something Simone isn't nearly as interested in exploring with the runs, but is obligated.
The best scene of the issue is something that is completely unrelated to the rest of the event, and it's...
It's almost like this event is okay. Actually, I'm going to say it. My hot take after reading 3 issues of this event is this event should have probably been its own miniseries.
It
should have been its own
with the potential for like other titles to have tie-in issues to the miniseries. But instead, as Marvel loves to do, main issues of every single title tie into a larger event.
However, the main issues tying in are presented almost like tie-ins. Much like, and this is something also that'll be more relevant in our next video on NYX number 9. But like some of these things are literally just side plots in what definitely should be a main plot. So Simone is the one who's setting up the event, and she is setting up. This is about Charles Xavier trying to save his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
That is our premise. His alien daughter.
And aside from the fact that we know that Charles Xavier has a tumor right now, putting all that aside, I think Charles is going to die at the end of this event. Let's lay that right now. I think that's definitely where we're heading. If we're not, I would be very, very surprised. So Charles has a daughter. He has a half alien daughter, and what he does is he decides to be a good father, and he's going to break out of Greymalkin and going to find her and be a good father.
Because she is been captured by rebel. Okay.
This is also definitely something that is also our fault for not keeping up on anything current X-Men before from the
current X-Men. It's worse for me because Joey, I've only read 3 volumes of the Claremont run.
It's true.
We're only just getting the earliest Shi'ar stuff.
So
heaven help you if you decided, I don't know if the Shi'ar stuff is in X-Men 97, but you saw the movies and you're like, I maybe should check out some X-Men comics right now because they just did a relaunch.
Yeah, and you're met with this. It's quite the mission statement to make. But because of this, Charles escapes from Greymalkin with the help of Sarah Gaunt, which I actually really like.
That's an interesting little plot thread that I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna get followed up on or anything. Also, Karina Ellis and all of our characters at Greymalkin are clearly just a means to an end of everything. I don't think they're going to in this event.
I actually really like the role they play in this issue. We'll talk about it more towards the end of the issue, but I really like what they end up doing with them. Also, what I really like about these opening Charles scenes is, once again, I just love the way that Gail Simone writes Charles Xavier narration. This may also have a lot to do with the fact that I'm watching a lot of Star Trek The Next Generation as of late, so Patrick Stewart's voice just lives in my brain constantly anymore. But it's great narration, is all I'm trying to say.
It's very journalistic. It's very journalistic and free-flowing.
Yeah, it's great. But really, when that sort of like takes a back seat and we start doing what Simone really, really excels at, which is the Uncanny X-Men, is where this issue excels. We go back to Haven House, and we have our makeshift danger room, and I love the scene. Rogue is testing our outliers, of course,
especially after the events of the last issue, because
one of these characters literally died.
Yeah. Or nearly died. Technically, he wasn't dead.
He was pretty much dead.
he was pretty much dead.
He's pretty much dead. But yeah, so we're testing these outliers, and Rogue is sort of contemplating all throughout it, like, you know, like these are kids, and younger generations of heroes kind of take for granted what we are doing when we are in the danger room. They're treating it like a game right now. These are the reason the danger room exists is to prepare you for the worst possible outcomes. So Rogue decides to give them the worst possible outcome, and that is not quite near death, but an actual challenge.
A challenge. Basically, she set them up to fail. Like,
yeah. She forces Gambit to stop playing with them and to actually hurt Jitter.
Yes.
In a scene that really, really hurts, because you could see our more senior X-Men, like Jubilee and Nightcrawler, understanding why Rogue did this. But there's tension there, because there's no warning this would come.
And I will say, Simone is amazing in just literally the 2 pages before this happens, in our outliers, treating it like a game, really enjoying it, like you have Jitter having fun rock climbing, you have Death Dream slightly terrified about the loud noises of Jubilee's balloons,
yeah.
You have Ransom literally lifted up by Logan in one hand. It's great, and I love that we've been able to establish this dynamic of who these are. Like, it's here, it's settled, I love it, I want more of it, give me a full issue of it, because
but God, the moment where Jitter is actually hurt just breaks my heart. The way that Javier Guerin draws that, I think just really, really hurts. The way Jubilee kind of turns on Rogue in that moment, and Rogue just kind of has to stand her ground as the leader of this team. It's the way she turns. It's a knife to the chest. It's, don't forget your ruby quartz visor. Like, yeah,
that's a sting.
Yeah. Oh God, it's good shit. It's good shit. Oh God.
I can't wait for Cyclops to eventually become part of this run again somehow, because we know it's gonna eventually happen. Like,
totally.
Like, I don't know. Hopefully not in just a crossover. Hopefully, like, it comes more naturally and not because of editorial mandate. Because, oh boy.
Yeah. But Rogue then gets.
And what's also helpful is Jitter isn't really hurt. She's wind knocked out of her, like, scared, but not like actually hurt.
Yeah. But Rogue then gets a call from Graymalkin because Ellis actually wants help. Xavier is trying to escape from Graymalkin with the help of Sarah Gaunt, and Ellis wants our Louisiana X-Men to come in and try to stop him. Something is wrong with Xavier, and it is the tumor in his head that we learned about back in the Graymalkin event. When he sees our Uncanny X-Men for the first time, he sees them in the form of the original X-Men, and it is. We'll talk about this more also with the other 2 issues that came out today, and I'm sure throughout the rest of the event. But the different ways that our writers in this event take on Xavier's mental state, because here he's very confused. It seems
he's almost broken. Like,
yeah. I find it fascinating. Of course, Xavier is extremely powerful. he is able to defeat our Louisiana X-Men and make his way out of Greymalk, and that is where the issue ends. But I find it so fascinating where this event seems to be taking Xavier, and potentially, again, I'm just strongly speculating, potentially setting up the end of the character, at least for now. I will be fascinated to see where we go from here. Not that you guys have to wait, because again, 3 issues came out this week. I think they could have split this event into like 2 months. They could have really done that, but instead they're slamming 8 issues into 1 month, and it's a lot, guys. It's a lot. It
is a lot. It's
a lot,
and it's messy. Actually, I love the cliffhanger for Xavier, but I don't entirely love the fact that we don't actually get any sort of conclusion with the Uncanny team, because let's be honest, they're going to show up in this event again. Like,
no, they probably are, because we have a big finale issue for this event that isn't tied down to any one particular team.
Are you sure? Because it feels like this event is going to space, and I'm not sure the Uncanny team is going to go to space.
They might.
Okay. Well,
I guess
I'd like to be
we'll
proven
see.
wrong. I'd like to be proven wrong.
And I would like to prove you wrong. I enjoy doing that a lot. So I guess we'll see.
We have 9 X books to cover this month, right?
Jacob, wait, do we? I thought it was 8.
It is. Uncanny has its issue 12 at the end of this month as well.
Jesus. Anyway, check out other Fresh Face One Shots we do. We cover Superman by Joshua Williamson, Wonder Woman by Tom King, Batman, The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, Uncanny X-Men by Gail Simone, obviously, and we're also covering the entire X-Manhunt event throughout the month of March. It's gonna be insane. So be sure to check all that out. Check out the main podcast, Fresh Face Comics. We speaking of Gail Simone, coming up on Monday, we have an episode on Gail Simone's Batgirl coming up. The first 2 volumes, the first 13 issues and the 0 issue. It's a great time. We had a great time recording that episode, so check that out when that is out. Subscribe to the channel.
Oddly enough, another long one, because Gail Simone can make me talk for days.
It's true. Our link trees, as always, our socials will be in the description below. Follow us wherever you want to follow us. Subscribe to the channel, Blood Internet Studios. Any and all support means the absolute world to us. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, this has been Joey Morgan
and Jacob Licklider.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.